What is going on? We're back way off base, episode 325, sir. I have a bone to pick with you right off the start. This conversation we just had.
Okay. I am just saying Evan Longoria is not one to cheat on his playmate of a girlfriend.
I'm not saying that he does, but professional athletes in general, I mean, come on. Half the reason they got into it is so they could slay ass.
But at no point, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying Evan Longoria himself is not cheating on the fine piece of ass he has sitting at home, because she is a Playboy playmate. That's all I'm saying.
And then you went on to other dudes saying they were God-fearing men, and that never,
I said
stopped.
James Shields and Ben Zobrist. Are you going to sit here and say Ben Zobrist is cheating on his wife?
Absolutely not. Neither
exactly. I'm right.
But I'm saying there are a lot of guys out there that front to be a God-fearing man, and Eugene Robinson got caught with a hooker during Super Bowl weekend.
Again,
and
most of them
thumped the Bible harder than most.
Again, the two I picked are two I believe that aren't. I didn't say anyone else. You didn't hear me say Tim Tebow.
I bet you on the low he's slaying more.
I know a girl who's hooked up with him.
I think on the low Tebow's just plowing through most of Florida.
He is.
And good for him.
Of course he is.
He has to be.
Come on now. All right. Well, how are you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
You've got a cumpleaños coming up.
I do. We're gonna be at the Trop on Saturday.
That's gonna be a brouhaha.
I'm getting all type of schmammered, and none of us have to drive because our dear friend Dana found us a party bus or limo or whatever for dirt cheap because she's friends with good old Tarpon cops.
It's gonna be a good old just drunk fest.
Yeah.
The Rays better play good, or else they're gonna hear a lot of obscenities.
You and the lady are gonna be there, correct?
Yeah, we're just not gonna be on the party bus.
Oh, you're missing out.
I know. We both have to work in the morning.
Understandable.
So, but let's go ahead and talk about some MLB notes we have right here. I mean, not too much considering it is only the second week of baseball. I know they said Jacoby Ellsbury doesn't need to get shoulder surgery, but he is expected to be out about 8 weeks. But it's kind of like not that it's a joke. I mean, injuries never are. But
the team is so deep.
But my GM is a Red Sox fan, and we were just saying between Ellsbury and Pedroia, who just give it their all every play, they can. It seems like Ellsbury especially can never play more than like 60 games in a season because he's just always injured.
They're tiny dudes
from doing something absurd.
They're tiny little dudes, and they throw their body all to and fro. Tim Lincecum, what's happening with him? The freaky franchise.
He's just not good this year. He's 0-2. I think his ERA is up in like the 15 region.
Jesus.
And all of last year, I think he gave up 8 first-inning runs. He's given up 9 already in his 3 starts this year.
Good Lord.
He just hasn't looked good.
I heard his command is just off. He's just throwing meatballs right over the plate.
That's never good.
No.
Meatballs over the plate. Never good.
No, absolutely not.
The only time I want meatballs is if I'm at like Anthony's.
And
they're coal-fired.
Yes, sir. Or if they're on a nice sub.
Yeah.
Meatball subs are so great.
Yeah, but I really don't know what's wrong with Lincecum, but he's on my fantasy team, so he needs to step it up.
Maybe we should cut his hair.
He's killing me. Killing me, Smalls.
Brian Wilson's getting Tommy John surgery.
Well, now they're saying he doesn't need surgery.
Yeah, so I heard that they said he's going to need it, but then he's going to go get a second opinion, and I guess he did, and now he doesn't need to.
But I know the article I read said he's going to 3 more doctors just to see what like the final verdict is.
Yeah.
But either way, it's not really looking good.
For the great beard of the West.
That is a solid beard.
I think that's his new nickname. Great beard of the West.
I was going to say we could combine the 2 words, but then that would just be breast. And then people think different things.
I'm already thinking different things.
Right. See?
So we should plow on ahead.
Did you hear these comments Bobby Valentine had?
I did, and I'm saving my emotion for it for another segment.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not for Valentine either.
I mean, part of me likes it because I think it is going to. I think it's going to affect the clubhouse. It's not going to completely. I mean, it's still the beginning of the season. It's not going to completely like demoralize anyone.
No.
But I just think it was bad, especially when you have Pedroia, who is the Red Sox, basically calling you out for what you said about Euclid.
That's what I have a problem with, actually.
Yeah,
I have more of a problem with that.
So that's it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
The Braves are going to retire John Smoltz, number 29, this summer.
Indeed, they should.
That was a hell of a man, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching him play in the mid to late 90s.
Another strong beard.
Yeah, just mowing people down.
Uh-huh.
And then we have Justin Verlander. First thing you asked me when we talked today was, did you see Verlander last night?
Lord Jesus.
He is just a man amongst boys.
Pretty much.
He threw 131 pitches. He threw 4 pitches over 100 miles an hour in the 9th inning.
And guess what? All the pitches that were over 100 were not swung at. Dude just stood there like, nope, not even going to try.
It's just, I mean, and he was doing that against the Rays, but the Rays actually were able to take advantage of it.
Right.
I was actually talking to my buddy today who's a Tigers fan, and I was just saying how Verlander, I mean, a lot of pitchers do it. You know, they reach back for that little extra and just throw it harder. But what happens sometimes, like the Rays couldn't do anything all day, and then he starts throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. But, yeah, they were 100, but they weren't moving. So the Rays were actually able to put the bat on the ball.
Exactly.
Whereas when he was in the mid to high 90s, it was fast, but it also had movement on it.
But that was the weird part because when it was in the mid to high 90s last night, like a couple 99 pitches, they were just swatting them.
Yeah.
And then they got a couple men on base towards the end, and he had to get that last out, and he was just throwing serious heat.
He
had
I want to say so many not nice things about him, but I mean, he really is. I think he's the best pitcher in baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
And
without a doubt.
I mean, you know,
who else is throwing 100 in the 9th inning?
And nothing against Doc Holliday, but Justin Verlander is by far the best pitcher.
Disgusting.
I don't care what anyone says.
Disgusting.
He's better than CeCe. He's better than Felix.
Oh, yeah.
He's
better than all of them.
Beast.
And you're not going to see much more of what the Rays did to him last week.
What was that, his first loss since like June of last year?
Something stupid.
Come on now. Come on, son.
He's already pretty much roping up the Cy Young.
Yeah. Well, that's really it for baseball as of now.